Actually, if I got my camera here, is there anything you want to tell posterity while I'm filming you?
What am I gonna? I have
What do you want to say to your great grandchildren?
I can't because I would cry.
You could talk about where your parents came from or where our grandparents came from. I don't even know where our grandparents came from.
I was 45 years old. No, don't start that. The doctor told me that I would be in a wheelchair by the time I was 60. Haha. I'm 86. But my back is deteriorating. All right. I will show you.
Should I follow you?
No, I'm bringing it out to you. You know. Well, just come here so that you can see this. You know, I'm a great collector of stuff. Look at that top shelf over there.
Yeah.
These are all, what is this? Family memories. Ryan. The new generation. Here's the new generation.
Yeah.
Oh, with the old. And here are my memories. This book is here. Look at this. Let's see here. Sorted individuals. Now, who are they all? I don't know. I would have to go because I've already forgotten. I've lived a long time, you know. And I've done a lot in my lifetime, so I can't remember everything. Oh yes, this is all part of our family. The Burnses, the Crowleys, DiBiase, Delonas, all of the, you know, like all of your children are already listed on here. Here's Molly Nadia Delonas. Says the day she was born. And it says, you know, how she's related. This is a very, very, very good. I probably should make copies of this.
You should scan it, yeah.
Yeah, scan. That's a good idea, scan. I didn't have that. And then I can give you all notes on the early life of Anna Wallison, Olga, and Bogdan. Says who their parents were. Their father came to America when he was 18. He married Martha. They had 4 children. And that was your grandmother's, so that would be your great-great-grandfather. He had a window cleaning business. They lived in New York City, and they had 4 children. They had Uncle Benny, who plays the saxophone, is the musician. My mother's uncle used to play the organ in church. She come from a musical family. That's probably where you got it from. And then Olga. And then there was a baby, Slavko. And he died on the ship when they were traveling here. My father, let me see here. This is interesting. It talks about both my parents were in Europe in Ukraine during the First World War, and they suffered under that. And it says here, many battles were fought in the area where they lived. Battles that would begin at sunrise and end at sunset. Days were spent in holes. That's what my mother remembered that. They would throw a pillow down into a hole, and that's where she would spend the day. And she tells the story about one time coming out of the hole and said she was so hungry, and she maybe was, let me see, maybe 5, 6, and she said she found a rotten apple and she ate it, and she said it didn't matter what the taste was, she was just so hungry. And my father, Nicholas, lived in a nearby village with his grandparents. His clothes were rags and he had no shoes. A Russian officer liked the little boy, who was your grandfather, Nicholas, and gave him bread, promising to take him home to Russia when the war ended. He never returned for little Nicholas. If he had, you wouldn't be here. For historical background of this time, I said where you can go in Wikipedia, but the 3 orphan children would be Aunt Olga, my mother, and Benny, were sent to 3 different relatives. So here the children lose their mother. The mother died. I think she must have had cancer. Or tuberculosis, one or the other.
They were siblings? Olga, Benny, and your mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the 3 orphan children then were sent to 3 different relatives. So they were separated. After the war, Benny was the first one to come to America, and he took up his father's profession, which was window cleaning, and he used to clean the windows in the great big buildings in New York City. And he saved money, and he brought his 2 sisters to America. With no family, Olga and Anna became live-in cooks and maids for rich families in New York. They attended a Ukrainian Catholic church and went to Ukrainian dances and functions. They learned to speak English, but only many years later went to my mother. My mother loved school, and she went to night school to learn to read and write. Anna met Nick at a Ukrainian dance. They married in 1936. I was born in 1937. It saddens me that I was the only grandchild of Marta and Ivan. I pray my descendants will know of them and remember their struggles and strength. I put this together in September of 2017. I've worked a long time on this. Because it's an interesting history. Everybody's history is interesting. Yeah. Everybody. I communicate on the internet with Eddie's son's wife. And she and his son just passed away less than a year ago. Such a fine young man. Jon, Jon is how he's been. And left 4 children.
He was young.
Yeah, 45 or something. And his oldest, I think, is 12. Then he has 2 younger daughters, and then a little boy who looks to be like maybe about 5. And the wife every day she, on her Facebook, enters pictures of what they do during the day. They're so cute. I feel so sorry for them to lose their father. But, so, I have here the art of our grandchildren.
How about that?
I have birthday that they sent me cards. This is from Ryan. Get well soon, Grandpa. This looks like a girl did this. Love, Suzanne. Dear Grandpa, I heard you are ill, so I truly hope you are well soon. Grandma too. Take care and feel free to call. Keep in touch. A heart from Suzanne. I wonder when she wrote this. She's so sweet. From Gary. Oh my goodness. Please get well and spend some time with me. That's from Gary. Oh, this has got to be Molly or Kara. Get well soon. Look at that. Look at how colorful. Oh my. Please get well soon. That included a picture. This is from Kara. Dear Grandpa, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well, and I really miss seeing you. It's really hard to be happy knowing you're not feeling well. So get better soon. I love you so much, Kara. This is from Molly. Please get well soon. Oh, look, she did a picture. Dear Grandpa, I am so sorry that you are sick, but I drew a picture of me smiling. I just love these kids. Smiling, because I know you will get better. Keep smiling, Molly. Now, where on earth could you get greetings like that?
Yeah, my battery's dead. I got to get another battery.
This was my dancing teacher, Miss Daniels. Yes, this, you should be sure to get this. I played the oboe.
I remember you said you needed activities to keep it from having to stay in the house all day or in the afternoon with your parents.
No, well, the activity that I wanted was I wanted to go to football games.
Oh, right.
But my parents would not allow me to go.
Right.
So I was playing the piano for the orchestra, and I asked, his name was an Italian handsome guy. Oh, he was a handsome music teacher. But anyway, he said, okay. He said, I'll let you come with the marching band if you learn to play the oboe. Which I did. And I did. Who plays the oboe in the wintertime when it squeaks? I remember one time we used to go out, we used to make, shapes and everything. And for some reason, our section was under the tail of whatever animal we were. And we all started laughing, and the whole line was laughing. Oh, these things that you remember. See, here's our orchestra. Here, look, right there I am. You see, I'm the first one. I'm in the first seat.
Yep, your first chair. Oboe? You had to be the oboe then.
Yeah.
West Side High School Band.
This is my Ukrainian. I don't even remember putting this together. There. My father said you go to school during the day and you learn English. You go to school at night and you learn Ukrainian. And I did. Here I am again. They were wonderful, wonderful experiences. Oh, do you remember the Easter egg hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And when the day that when we were out there and we didn't have enough candy, we thought the crowd was going to kill us. Look at the crowd. You see the crowd?
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to go and I used to bring toys to disabled children. That was my own addition to my responsibilities. And I don't know why, because I was not in education. At that time, I had no idea of wanting to work with disabled, but that's what I did. Spartan, here's the one. Spartan wife stars on TV. And then they included a story here about my oldest son. Because we lived in married housing at Michigan State. And they were all barracks. We lived up on the second floor. And of course there were a lot of young children and they would watch Romper Room. And one day, it was Saturday. There was a knock on the door. I opened the door. And there were a bunch of little children there. We want to see Miss Nadine. And what did my oldest son say? He came to the door and he said, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, she's Miss Nadine. On Saturday, she's my mother. And you slammed the door. I never saw that. That was the first time I saw that in you. His name Howard, I think. He had, I think, maybe cerebral palsy, but he was brilliant. He was such a smart boy. And when I joined the child study team, I had to go out and visit him. And he had never been to school. And what we did was, and I don't remember how it all happened, but somehow, I think I worked with the fire department or somebody, and we collected $1,000. It says $1,000 buys Howard a dream, because he wanted to be able to go to school. We bought him an electric wheelchair.
Bravo.
And I remember I don't think he lived more than a year after he went to school. And I remember I went to his funeral, and his mother said that was the happiest year of his life when he was in school. Yeah, I have a lot of pictures of him, yeah. And what did they do? The school that he went to, which was in Morris County. I forget the name of the district now. It was a 2-story, and apparently one of the classes one of his classes, or several of his classes, were on the second floor. And I know the principal called me in because they had put together a schedule. And he said, we'll just have to find an instructor. We'll find him a room and he could take those classes, in down. I said, I don't think that's a good idea, And he says, well, we can't do that. And I went around, I was talking to people, and what happened was that the male teachers, I think 2 phys ed teachers and some male teachers, every day would pick him up in his wheelchair, carry him upstairs. So he was able in that last year to go to school as well as he could.
And you were instrumental in making that happen.
That was my best job. What's this? Oh, I was teaching Balkan dancing when we were up in Plattsburgh. Look at that. Here's Britt and Sarah. I think this is Britt, Sarah. And I don't know how it came about, but they wanted to learn, so I taught them. Oh my God, such a long life. But it's not ready to end. I'm telling you, you know what I am? I'm compulsive. That's what your father used to say. That I was.
Love it when someone points that out about you.
Huh? Yeah. Your father said I was anal retentive or something like that. I thought that was such a nasty thing to say.
I hate that phrase.
Look at all of the schools I went to. It starts. Why on earth would I have done that?
Documented it, you mean?
Yeah.
It couldn't have been that you were anal retentive. That's not it.
Yeah, it goes right back to my 10th grade Cleveland Junior High, West Side, Drew University, Idaho State, Fordham University, NYU, Michigan State University.
These are all the schools you went to?
Well, that I got some credits from. Like, for example, at Michigan State, I got 3 credits in theater. I must have taken a theater course while your father was working on his doctorate. Then at Buffalo, I was there. I got my master's in counseling. And then I went to Montclair State to get certified as a school social worker. Then in Plattsburgh, I must have taken some course, I don't know what it was. Then Lehigh University, 15 graduate credits in the law school and public school administration. Do you know I don't even remember all of this? If I didn't, good thing I documented it. I don't remember it. I didn't know I went to so many schools. And then listen to this. University of Medicine and Dentistry, Robert Wood Medical School. 6 credits in continuing education. So I don't know what the hell I learned. But you know what? With all of the coursework I did, I would have had enough for a doctorate if it was in any one place.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
But I don't need a diploma. Huh, Petey? I cannot believe what I have here. What is this? Oh yeah, this was a letter I got from the director of the Office of Special Education in Trenton. And when I was in Trenton, my bureau, the one that I managed, we were responsible for the monitoring of the Newark public schools system. That was a trip and a half. Yeah. They had this principal in one of the schools. He was dressed, like really expensive clothing, rings on his fingers. We went into that school in Newark, and there was a light bulb on a cord in the middle of the room. That was the light for the children in that classroom. I almost went crazy. Whoa, did I give it to him. Yeah, they did not pass our monitoring. And we sure did put in a lot of stuff that they had to do. I do have quite a resume. Oh my goodness. Another thing that I'm very proud of. I was manager of a unit. I think we had 11 to 13 people in it. A lot of them, they're much better educated than me. I had 4 people with doctorates in that unit. And yeah, they were really very smart. But we got money from the feds, and I already knew that this money could really help the children in the schools, because it would come from Washington, it would come to my office in Trenton. The various schools would send in their applications for the money, and we would approve them or not approve them. Well, this was the first year that I came in. And being an anal retentive, unlike my previous people who had that job, I started reading the grants. I thought, gee, I gotta know what they're gonna be spending this money on. And there were many, but the one I remember specifically was that they were going to take this federal dollars that is coming from the Disability Act, and they were going to put rugs down, I don't know, in some big room somewhere. Maybe the teacher's room, I don't know where it was. And I wouldn't approve it. And the guy said to me, who was on my staff, Dr. whoever he was, he said, we don't have a right to tell them what to do. They can spend it how they want. So I called Washington. And I said, this is a problem I have, and I'm not going to allow it. And she said, you don't have a right not to allow it. They can spend it on whatever they want. So then I went down for a meeting, and my boss went with me, Jeff Osowski. And I met with them, and they also had called Washington. Can you believe that? That from Washington money is going to come down, and they say that they can spend it on anything. Can you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went down, and we had this meeting, and we got at it, and he was telling me, well, I have a right to spend it. I said, well, you can spend it on that, but I'm not signing off on it, you know. So my boss takes me out in the hall, and he says, Nadia, you know, he said, this has really gone very far. We don't have a right. I said, okay. I said, I'm not signing it. You sign it. And he wouldn't sign it.
Mm.
So the guy had to change what he was going to do with it. That was such a triumph.
Hmm.
Have you had such a triumph?
No, I've had no triumphs.
My beautiful mother. Here's Nikki. Here's Nikki. Yeah, I got you. Oh, and here's Nikki. You remember my father bought you a little car?
Yeah.
Yeah. You loved that car. You loved that car. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Thank you for reminding me. See, we were talking about the Ukraine. These are pictures from the Ukraine. I have so many. This was my visit in 1997, and this was in 1985. Did you go to the Ukraine with us? No.
I went to the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union. Oh, that's right. That's right. And they were checking out your puffy coat, right?
Yeah.
You know, each day, especially at night, is so long. But I'm telling you, life flies. Really, really flies by. Yeah. I was never much of a reader. I think it's because I couldn't speak English when I went to school. And I think what I had to do, maybe that's what all people do that then begin to learn a second language, which for me was English, is you think in your Ukrainian language so, but I never liked English, but I did like math.
I love
math. So I have no use for it anymore. I have to do stuff that's useful.
Yeah, like going through your junk mail.
Are you going to get, Nicholas, someone took the time and spent the money to send something to me. So I look at it. I don't read it all, but I do have to take it out of the envelope. That's absolute. You will never see something leave this house unless it's by accident, where it's still in the envelope.
Okay.
You might miss. Now, if you just throw stuff out, there might be something in there that you would find interesting.
I don't know how I'll go on with all those missed opportunities.
Oh, Nicholas. When did you become what you are? And you're still becoming what you will be.
Yeah.
So there's still hope. I'm so mean to my son. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. He was the cutest baby. Nicholas was so, everyone thought he was a little girl. He was so cute.
I still get that.
You still get that?
Sure.
Especially with the beard.
Yes, indeed, Nicholas. Our time of recording. Oh, I could get romper, bumper, bumper, boo. Bumper Stomper Boo, tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today, have all my friends had fun at play? And who do I see? I used to always see Nikki and Sean. Remember?
Yep.
What a
Was it a doll, like a toy?
That's on
and you would-
Romper Room.
Yeah, no, I understand it.
And the
it was a
mirror.
Oh, it was a mirror.
And I had two. One, when you started it, I have a box, and they're in that box. It was covered, so you couldn't see it. But then I put it down, and then it was really sad because the children were still there, so then they would know what I did, and then it was just open, and then I would look in, and I always see Nikki and Sean and John.
Oh, those poor disillusioned children. It's like learning there's no Santa Claus.
Yeah.
We had, though, it provided some really good times. The Easter egg hunts,
Yeah.
and sometimes you would go with me when I'd have to go to to meet the children.
Yeah.
But the one thing I used to like to do would be to go to the hospitals, and then I went to a camp for disabled children, and I remember we were marching, and the kids, they were in their wheelchairs. They were marching in a circle. For them, it was a big deal.
Something unusual, something new.
Oh, it's being on Romper Room.
Oh, they were on Romper Room.
No, I would
Oh,
go
just
out to
seeing
visit
you.
them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just seeing,
I'd
but
go out to
meeting a
visit them.
celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was probably one of the very few teachers that would go out to specifically, that's where I wanted to go. And I don't know why. Why did I do that? I was not thinking of working with disabled people. I actually, when I went to Michigan State, I wanted to become a children's theater. That's what I was interested in.